Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivam, Shivam, Om. Welcome to another Satsang with your host, Chuck the Yogi from the Yogi Cave, as the ice begins to thaw this last part of the winter. Let us continue where we left off. So it was 1.2, Janambandaha. Translation of that is, limited knowledge is bondage. So the commentary, Jana is knowledge, Banda is bound or to bind. The nature of things is fractal. This allows an infinite variety of things to occur in an infinitesimally small space. This happens through the process of contraction. In order for infinity, mind or God, or whatever other word you want to use, to achieve form, infinity must go through a process of contraction. Now, this is repeated in mythology over and over again with the primordial sacrifice of Purusha. You see it in the primordial sacrifice in Mithraism, as well as the sacrifice of the giant serpent, Tiamat. So this is a recurrent archetypal theme. All knowledge in this world is of the nature of contraction. The Heisenberg principle of uncertainty makes it clear that you can only be certain of one particular thing at a time. When we focus on something, that something becomes very clear to us. When we are no longer focused on it, then it is as if it were no longer there. The double-slit experiment tells us as much. Therefore, all knowledge, no matter how profound or complete, will always be within the realm of limitation. Jai Mahaka. So, we're getting into quantum physics here. And I've been thinking about my own toroidal field of consciousness model and the importance of perception in that model. And one thing I would like to add to that, at least verbally, is the idea of coherence and decoherence of the toroidal field of consciousness. So, the more coherent the field is, the more precise your ability to perceive something. The less coherent, on the other hand, your toroidal field of consciousness is, the harder it will be to perceive things. In other words, the collapse will not be complete. So, psychotic episodes, drug-induced trips, altered states of consciousness can keep the collapse from occurring completely. That could be useful, but it also can be very damaging and traumatic. It depends on the intent, and it depends on the person experiencing that. But what this sutra is kind of implying, in my mind, is the importance of the fact that not all knowledge, or all knowledge, is fractal. Therefore, it is limited. You can see or perceive the whole through one of its parts, but any part of any given thing within the construct will be, by its own nature, limited. So that's a profound sutra. I wish I could just leave it there, but I have to move on. 1.3, Yoni Vargaha Kalasharinem. Translation, Maya with its associated principles in Kala, and which gives origin to bodies and worlds, are bondage. Interpretation, Yoni is the female principle. She is the one responsible for form. She is mater, or materia prima. She is mother. From her yoni, or her womb, comes kala, or time, and sharira, or form. She is the Shakti, the Shekinah, or power that makes the world go round. She binds us all with her spell into her web of Maya. Jai Mahakal. So here we see the great serpent, the great Tiamat, the great mother, entwining herself within the great toroidal field, creating the construct that we call reality. And she is the reason for that. She's the one that holds it all together in her spider's web. So that's a profound insight. And this is just the beginning of the sutra. So let's move on to 1.4. Jana Dishtanam Matarika. Translation: the letters of the alphabet from the Ksha are the basis of limited knowledge. Interpretation: the letters in the Greek alphabet, which are derived from the Phoenician, are alpha to omega. In the Devanagari script, the alphabet are 52 in number, with 10 vowels, 2 modifiers, and 40 consonants. These are the mother of creation, or Matarika, for God made him herself manifest through the Logos. The Hebrew and Egyptian traditions have a similar reference to their own letters. Letters make the abstract world concrete. Mathematics is the language of number, while the alphabet is the language of form. They both represent aspects of the same illusion and limited knowledge. Jai Mahakal. So, again, yes, the Jews, which form the foundation of Christianity, and the Western tradition, also has this understanding. I believe it's the Book of Formation, Sefer Yetzirah, I believe, where the different letters of the Hebrew alphabet are used in creation itself. And this is why in Genesis you see Adam naming creation, naming plants, naming animals, because to the extent the magical understanding was back then, to the extent that you name something, that you know the true name of something, you can master that something, whatever it is, or someone. So this has different layers of interpretation. I'm not going to get into all of them, but it's important to understand how profoundly significant language is in the development of consciousness. I'll give you an example. Recently, there's been an upgrade created by Elon Musk called GPT-3. And look it up, Google it. And GPT-3 is light years ahead of GPT-2. And it's a language program, but it truly borders on true intelligence. So it just shows this correlation between language and understanding of reality, and how profound that was for us to experience language, abstraction, first in the Cro-Magnon caves, painting bisons and other such things, the sense of representation, and the profound impact that representation or abstract representation had on the creation of civilization itself. So basically, what this sutra and other profound works are implying is that there is a profound correlation between language and creation. So I'm not going to get any further into that because the implications are profound, So I believe I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, because those are mouthfuls. Each one of these sutras are going to be mouthfuls. So I want to take my sweet time with them, unpack them properly, and hopefully be of some use in laying this out, laying out the profundity of this sutra to you. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shiva Ham, Om. Jai Ma, Jai Mahakal. Till next time.